Sometimes in life things can come across as rather odd or often peculiar, a little like the way that you decide to tune into other radio stations other than ours.
Wishful thinking, been dreaming, it's my time to shine. Wanting, waiting, been hoping for a girl like you to know. I wanna get the girls I couldn't get before. I wanna be in a band, make that music. I wanna be in a band, get those grooves. I wanna be in a band, smoke those dudes. I wanna be in a band.
If you enjoyed that introduction song, head on over to iTunes and pick it up. That's I Wanna Be in a Band by Lovestruck Robot off their debut album, I Wanna Be in a Band. You can download the entire album there, as well as their new single, Smoke Show. For more information, please visit lovestruckrobot.com. Hey, how's it going? This is Anthony. Thanks for tuning in today. If it's your first time with us, welcome. If you've been following the progression of the show, I appreciate you sticking along for the ride. Here on Me, Myself, and I, we discuss overcoming obstacles despite your circumstances. I draw from personal experiences as outlined in my book, The Science of Being, and a decade-long battle with clinical depression. What I've done to combat these feelings is with exploring a path of self-actualization by taking ownership of my mental and physical health. Life, you see, is an ever-evolving process. As the world around us changes, we must change along with it. What do I mean by that? Am I saying to conform to something or someone you are not? Quite the opposite, actually. When I refer to change, I imply evolving through learning, growing, and then embracing it. That is where my mantra of keep on flowing, just be, stems from. We do not find ourselves. We do not become. We create. We are simply by being. The moment you stop looking for something, forcing its capture, it will find you. With the progression of my book, blog, networking, and now this podcast, I've been able to do just that. This is Me, Myself, and I. Let's go.
Welcome to Me, Myself, and I, episode 23. I have a very exciting guest today, and I'm truly honored to have this guy. He's been a true inspiration of mine, and everything Me, Myself, and I related Joe experiences on a day-to-day basis. This is Joe Pardo from the Dreamers Podcast. It's one of the biggest podcasts on the internet. He's got a bazillion downloads, and he's interviewed.
Only half a bazillion. Come on now.
It's okay, whatever. Who's counting, right? But he's got so many things going on. He's going to talk about all that. If you can learn anything from somebody, it's going to be about Joe. So, Joe, thanks for being on the show today.
Dude, Anthony, come on now. You're such a great friend. I'm so happy and fortunate to have you in my corner, man. Like, seriously, I don't know if you probably don't realize that, but anybody that's listening should know that you're totally an awesome person to have as a friend.
Oh, man, thanks, Joe. That means a lot, man. So, one of the first questions I always like to ask, it's kind of like a fun one, is how did we meet? And I like to tell all our listeners how I met my guest and where did that happen from the guest's point of view. So, why don't you go ahead and tell them how that happened?
So, I was thinking about this when I was reading the email that you sent, and I guess it was because of the Unstuckable, right? Is that where we first met? It was Unstuckable?
Mm-hmm.
The private group?
Yeah, it was definitely a combination of the group chats, the community, the podcasting community, really. And kind of just reached out from there, I think.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you did. Because I was thinking, like, it's already been quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
Like, How long is it? How long has it been? Has it been a year yet? It's probably getting close to a year.
Oh, at least.
Yeah. So I mean, it's been an amazing ride. At this point, it's been almost a year and a half for me in podcasting, and I think that you weren't too far along, or you weren't too far behind when I got started.
You say started, I like to call it stumbling.
Hey, no, I did too. I mean, I've known of podcasting since 2004, 2005. So, it's just weird that I took this long to get going. And I'm glad that you finally seem to have gotten rolling yourself. Episode 23, man, that's awesome. When did you get started specifically? Yeah, time flies when you're
just hit the
cranking it out.
mark.
Oh well, congratulations.
Thank you.
As anyone that does it could tell you, and as Anthony could tell you, for sure, there is a lot involved. It's not just about turning on the mic. You got to figure out what mic to get and all that. So there's a ton of information that you have to be able to digest just to be able to turn on a mic and put your voice out there. Mm-hmm. So congratulations on just over a year.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that's what another thing that draws me to podcasting so much is the creative aspect and everything involved in it. Like you said, the microphone, the software, learning how to put it all together. That's been the real challenge, and I think the most gratifying part for me. And, that's how that goes. You just learn by doing.
That's very true. A lot of people will try to take that away from you. That you didn't go to school, or you didn't study enough, or you didn't do this or that. But when it comes down to it, you need to be able to just go in and do it. And no, it's not going to be perfect. And sure, it's going to be falling with style. Hopefully, if you're lucky. But I can't take credit for that one. Anthony, it's tough, and you do it from both ends. Where I mostly only do it from one, with the blogging and the podcasting. So, keep up the great work, and don't back down on it. Don't give up, because at the worst case, even if it doesn't make you well known or anything like that, you have a log of your thoughts, your feelings, and everything, and it's out there. So if you change just one person's life because of what you wrote, or change their minds, or affect somebody in some positive, hopefully a positive, knock on wood, some positive way, that's really what's important.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I had in mind going into this whole thing, was the whole self-discovery process and kind of learning about myself by learning about other things. And I'm able to document that journey through podcasting, through writing, through blogging. And that's kind of what it's been about for me. And that's what the whole me, myself, and I element is about, So as you already know, on Me, Myself, and I, we discussed self-discovery, self-development, something you're very familiar with. The getting up, putting yourself out there, and taking your obstacles head on, despite your circumstances. No matter what the naysayers say, no matter whether you have anybody in your corner or not, you just go for it. You give 110%. That being said, you've overcome some difficult odds this past year when you decide to become self-employed and become an entrepreneur and really pursue your dreams. What I find even more fascinating than that and inspiring is that you use this as an opportunity to show the rest of the world that it's okay to follow your heart and it's okay to help others. I've got to commend you for that. Not many people have the ability to see things for what they could be as opposed to what they are. You are in a caliber above the rest. So for that, I thank you, Joe.
Oh no, thank you. I just do what I can, man. There's a song. It's not really old, but it's just I can't even think of the name of it. But it was by a band that not many people have heard of called Flaw. And when I had heard that song, I guess like in 2005 4 or something like that. And it's just like, hey, you know, it's just about like being the best person that you can, which is really funny because it was a metal band. It was a metal band singing about, you know, being the best person you can. And it really just resonated with me. And it's like, you know, I mean, it was something I was already trying to be on that path of doing. And, you know, I knew at that point that well, I was allowing my life to just kind of go on a rail towards working in my family's business, which again, there's nothing wrong with taking that on, taking that responsibility and running with it. But, you know, if deep down you feel like there's something else in your life that's worth doing, something that you're good at, that you don't get the credit, and you don't necessarily have to feel like you need to get the credit. What you need to do is you need to figure out how to start doing it today so you can get better at it. Not necessarily leave your job, not necessarily leave your family's business or wherever it is, or your family high and dry if they're depending on you. But like in your case, Anthony, where you're doing all this, but you have a family, you have a job, you know, it doesn't, you know, most of the people that go and they get big and they turn it into a career, if they get big and known for just one thing, usually it's because it was by accident. No, you know, not the time. The accident isn't the time that they put in, the hours of writing or something like that. But just the idea that like they're not putting themselves in a situation where they're setting up for multiple streams of income and multiple streams of notoriety and all. Like, hey, how many? You know, what was it, that Zen blogger guy? I can't even think of his name. You probably know who I'm talking about. The dude that writes in like his whole website is just basically text.
Right.
You know, I don't know that he set out to necessarily be the guy that everybody knows as the Zen blogger. I really wish I knew his name off the top of my head, but the point is he set out to write and look what it's become. So it you know, it didn't necessarily dawn on him like, hey, if I'm going to start this blog and I'm just going to write about Zen stuff, I'm going to be huge and people are going to know about me that don't even know my name. It can happen.
Yeah, it can. Well, I mean, Joe, you see the good in everything. You're a genuine, charismatic guy with huge things in store. And I thank you for being a person that I'm able to lean on. And I thank you for the opportunity today for coming on the show. So just thanks, man. Just thanks for being here. I appreciate it.
Oh, man. Come on. I lean on you.
You're actually my first interview not in studio. I did an interview in studio with a local writer, but this is actually my first hand try at doing this via the internet with all these tools and all this software and really learning the whole spectrum of podcasting and stuff. And I have you to thank for that because you got me involved in the Google Hangouts with the Let's Talk series. And that's an open invite to anybody who wants to get involved with that. We're always posting links about that. There'll be posts, there'll be some links in the show notes. Anybody that wants to get involved, listen, learn, or contribute and teach. It's a roundtable discussion. Everybody's welcome. And thanks to Joe for organizing that, getting that put together.
Hey, I get to learn too, man. That's the beauty of it. Everybody gets to learn and lean on each other, and that's one of the things that you know, a lot of people like to shy away from, right? They like to build these mastermind groups, which, if you don't know, is basically a group that usually you're paying to be a part of, so you can get access to knowledge of people that are maybe just 1 or 2 steps ahead of you. And we've opened it up to a lot of people. I just after Podcast Movement, I probably added about 20, 30 people to the list that are included in the event. In fact, we have more people that are quote unquote going to the event than Google Hangout can accept.
Was the last count. And I actually invited, I think 2 or 3 the other day also, of some new contacts I made. So hopefully they'll be able to attend and learn as well. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. I mean, it is cool. I like the fact that you know, we have a group of people that aren't afraid to talk with people that aren't necessarily at their level. They might be 2 or 3 steps behind them, and to really bring people up, because what I see is, it's only